Is it just us now? I do apologize for the delay. I will not plead for your understanding. Rather, I plead that you tend to your own fields from now on. This is my work now. Aren't you excited?
The scent of blood sows in a vile dread. Guillotine bodies they strew in a pool of lavish red. A carrion so fruitless, the flies disperse unsatisfied, worthless to the flies. Soft and quiet in the dark, I hear its voice cry out. Glasses overflowing in the slaughter, have you no remorse? Still smiling blank and vainly in the mirror over your dead horse. Reaping what you slain, fashion a facade,
All right. Let's see. Let's volume manage. That's probably good enough. Okay. But the big news was Demo V3 coming out, and then the devlog Godot editor just crashed. The Godot editor, breaking news, the Godot editor has crashed. Let's see, which screen am I capturing? That's not the right thing. What is this capturing? This should capture this. There we go. All right. We got some nice progress, I see then. With the Godot editor crashing. That's, I think, a great start to the stream. But in Godot's defense, it was because OBS was capturing Godot suddenly, which it just, I guess, just the poor little thing couldn't handle. But anyway, the change since yesterday, or whenever I did it, let's go to 113. So something that a few people have pointed out is that the shading was very flat in indoor spaces. Eventually, okay. So what I did, and what I think I kind of want to do more of, even though it's one of those things that's not super important, but I just like doing it. So I now have directional lights, or directional shading, in the reflection probe. So if we go to our little reflection probe, wherever that is it in here? Huh? What the heck is this? What did I set it to? Pro tip. Make all of your things easily searchable. But okay, now my reflection probes have two colors associated with them. They have an ambient color and a dark ambient color. And what this dark ambient does is it adds some variation to the shading. So now the bottom of things is a different color than the top of them. And so if we see what this used to look like then, this is what the shading in here used to look like, and I actually removed some of the big lights, so it's even worse than it used to look because I was compensating for it, but yeah. It used to be like the top and bottom of things looked the same, and if we had Jackie in here, you would see that it looks especially like plain looking. Like no contours are visible whatsoever. In fact, let's put like a... Nah, I don't care that much. Let's put it back now to what it was. So very slight lightening. So if we go up to like this one, like this one's a drastic color change. So what I think I kind of want to do is actually change this ambient color completely. Because I think it would be fun if it was a 2D texture. So admittedly, this is... I'll just... You know what? I've officially decided it's not for V3, though. Because I need to finish up V3. I'm hoping by the middle of December. So basically, gradually bumping things up in priority until they disappear. And then everything that I don't get done, I'll be like, okay, kick it off to later, because V4 is going to be the main story. So there's going to be very little changes to the demo area. So what I should do now is... Let's go back. What was that task that oh yeah, I should actually put the spoiler tag on. Alright, so let's add this. So 2D gradient for reflection probes. And so this was actually a pretty surprisingly simple little change. And there's another change I made, which was now, if there's more than 16 reflection probes active at a time, I just realized there was a place that I didn't check these. Oh yeah, let's switch so that music is done. Let's get on some Card City Nights soundtrack. That's not Card City Nights, and it's too loud. Let's see, is my... I see. My volume is lower than it normally is. Now, excuse me, that should be good. Okay. But yeah, I actually forgot to change the reflection probes in here. So yeah, all of these should have the interiors, the exteriors. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, now a lot of these will look substantially better, and I can use less lighting. Interior, let's make this maybe something a little darker. Maybe something a little lighter, even. Look at that. Look at how fancy that is. Now I need to figure out where all my where the other ones are. Okay, so that one's all dark. Oh yeah, so the other change was now when reflections don't render, the ambient light is still applied. Because I was having, if you remember, I was having annoying issues where there were too many reflection probes loaded at a time, and then it just wasn't rendering them at all, like it was as if this was hidden, and that's like, that doesn't look very good. So now, instead what it'll act like is it'll act as if Well, technically what it does is it just grabs one single pixel of some reflection, and it says that's the reflection for this probe. Which isn't quite what I want. Ideally, I just want like a black pixel, so that there's no reflections. But for now, that was good enough. Because otherwise I have to do more work. Is this what I want? Why was it set up that way? What if I make that darker? Yeah, that's fine. And that's fine. Let's make this one... I want this one to be... What if it was completely white? No. That's not very good. What if it was a darker gray? What if it was a blue? So you can see this gives me a little bit more fun to play around with, because now I don't have to have so many lights to have like any sort of variation. But it's also, by default, I have to go through these and figure out where they are. Let's do... That looks okay. And this one... Yeah, that's kind of neat. What if this one was ever so slightly red? Because this one's only used for this interior area for these alarms. And then I'm pretty sure this one as well. So yeah, what if we just made it like... So now everything in here has a slight underlighting to it instead of just... Well, it's pretty subtle. But it is an effect that actually helps substantially with the game. And I think all of these are just black. Yep, that looks good. Excuse me. Okay. So yeah, basically, that was to fix that sort of bad-looking visuals. And also... Oh yeah, I'm gonna put... make everything searchable. Also, I'm going to try to get more diligent about committing things, because I found it's so frequent that I have just like an errant line of code that then causes like an hour or an hour and a half of like searching around. So I'm just going to try to get into the habit of just committing everything once I'm done with the thing. So this was what? Tweaks to lighting. Perfect. So yeah, so let's say... So my idea for the 2D gradient was basically like from the top to bottom, maybe I have two different ambient colors for the light and dark, and maybe even a set direction. Should we like... So it'd be like X to Y is position or no, X axis is the surface normal, Y is the position along the reflection probe's axis or something. Visual, lighting, and I'll say can't ship but would be ashamed, because I think that would look nice, but it's, you know, not an integral thing. Let's go back to V3 though. So first things first, these are all the, well, maybe I should go through higher priority, well, lower everything, maybe. Because I think a lot of this stuff is not stuff like this. This isn't V3. I don't know why it was even in V3. Because, like, none of that was important. And, like, these things, Most of these aren't V3 anymore. Like, maybe Fire and Molten Metal. Armored Mix, no. You can't find these enemies in the demo area, so they shouldn't be part of this. The Flooded Mix and the Fire and Molten Metal could be. Well, yeah. And I already have those. And yeah, the custom coat would be nice. Quest, sounds of people cheering. Yeah, I guess that'll be there. Custom outfit for reading various levels. I mean, I have it at like, I have that same dialogue, or same to-do list item in like 5 different places. Okay. I think these two could technically be in here. So I think those were the only ones that were really like things that aren't... or things that weren't in the demo area. Let's make that a could ship. Some hints as to where Lily is. That could be important. I like this one. I'll change that. Well, no, honestly, that's such a disruptive change. Yeah, and it's not even a bug. Actually, I'll put it, well, not in V3. Let's just put... I'm not going to have that in there because that would make the game, or that would break everybody's progress on the quest, because I'd have to rename the internal ID with my current system. I mean, maybe I could change that. And I think a lot of sounds... Add lights in the path back up to the arena. Do I care? Oh yeah, I forgot there was a... Where was that pen? Because you could get inside the pen. So this... Because this thing was basically the enemies with no... or the crawlers with no visibility that are in the pen so they don't aggro to you. If you hit them, they do aggro to you. But because they can't see you, they just run into you and they push you through geometry. So I should probably just make them, I don't know. Ah, well, whatever. Let's go through the things that I think are important. The climbing animation doesn't quite loop, so I figured out what this was. So if we go to the player, or the base mesh, this will be very exciting for all you at home. Let's see, activate this, open editor. Yeah, this is... Someday, I would love to just not use this state machine. I would love to just have a big table, because most of the time it's like... Some things, I just want every single thing to be able to go to it with like a different blend. Oh wait, I need to play this, edit this. How do I need to do this? Alright, we just go here. Edit this. So you can see her leg janks out ever so slightly. And it's because I made a bad decision in the original animation, which is you might notice her foot bones are snapping. And that's what's causing it. So when it blends, it doesn't... It tries to, you know, halfway blend those, but there's one animation that just changes one frame, so it's like it screws it up. Or an instant snap in one frame. Sorry, let's disable that. Who cares? Let's go to our movement climb. So what I'm going to do is I think it's only in... Let's make sure that it's only in the movement climb down. Yeah, I think everything else just uses, like, normal animations. Yeah, like... It's only climb slope up that has this frame right here. Like, I don't know why I didn't just... Well, I guess I know why I did that. But what if I just... What if I just... How do I keep... What if I just... I know. Put that there. And then, if I do 3D cursor... What does this look like? Oh, and also, I'll... what is this? I see. Is this not recording? Oh, it isn't recording. Okay. Get this thing out of here. Yeah, that's just gonna work fine. Let's do a meeting point. So I want here actually to be a little bit more bent inward like that. And I mean, this climb animation is nothing to write home about, but... What if I just grab this, copy that, paste it here. Oh, hi, Alex. Thanks for the subscription. Good to see you again. Oh. How do I... There we go. Delete keyframe. So let's make this like that. And let's make this so. Oh, her knees are like bent outward. Wait, where are her knees? Yeah, I didn't even think about... Look at how messed up her knee is. Wait, where? Ah, okay. There we go. So what do I actually want this to do? I want it to come up. I see. I think I want it to do more like this. And then it'll go... like here, maybe. Nope. Yeah, that's probably good enough. See, I have this fancy new... They had a Coca-Cola called Y3000. It says futuristic flavored. It's like, what does that... Or, no, it says futuristic flavored. Not futuristic flavor, futuristic flavored. And it's like, how do you flavor it futuristic? And the answer is... I don't know, banana? Like guava, maybe? It's some sort of tropical fruit. Or like fruit blend. It's okay. Let's see, so let's close this. And let's see if this actually worked. Wrong thing. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, now there's no snapping, because there's no snapping in the animation, because I actually just designed it well. Though admittedly, I think what I should really do is have the animation have some sort of speed. Because when you stop climbing, you don't reset to like a base pose. You actually like would be like in the middle of a pose, depending on what direction you were going. But that's more complicated stuff. And that's for like after this main story stuff. Because I still want to do a full animation rework. Oh yeah, and the game's in the other monitor. At least we get to see Jackie slightly twitch a little bit as this comes over. Yeah, that was when I last saved. There we are. I forget what I was testing. Oh yeah, the climbing. Eh. Looks fine. Well, there's still sort of a... I think it's just the legs are moving a little too fast on the upward of that, but... Oh wait, no. No, I see a pretty clear... Well, I can't tell if it's snapping or if it's just, like, a little bit too much emphasis on the animation. Do you see that? Do I have a slow-mo button? I forget if I do. Because I think there were various points where I was debugging animation stuff and I changed the timescale. Oh no, there's time, but oh right, I remember what that did. Okay, so let's go through if time slowed. Recursive time response, global, false, true, function recursive, or let's do set time response, node, response, bool. That could be interesting. Let's do node dot timescale response equals response, and for C in get children. This could actually mess some things up, but thankfully it's not, like, permanent. But basically what this means is... Oh. Right, it doesn't apply to the animations. Because the entire point of that was to make the animations do this. But, it doesn't quite work as well as I hoped it would. Okay. Yeah, I'm ambivalent about AI. I don't think I would keep it in the finished work. But I'm not opposed to using it for, like, concepts. Though, admittedly, I haven't found anything that's terribly... Well, I don't know. The older AI models were pretty interesting. I think the newer ones, like Bing Create, is sort of sanitized and, like, boring. Like, it feels like it always creates the most obvious possible interpretation of what I made. Or of, like, the prompt, even when it's, like, deliberately tried... Well, or it just says, your prompt was dumb, do something else. Because I liked, I did imgan. What was that? Or imqgen, or something like that. It was one of the very earliest generative image things that was available. Because that was what I have the AI art gallery. which admittedly is kind of old hat now. But I may go back and play with it some more. Yeah, personally, I do think there's too much of an ethical dilemma with actually using it in finished work, and it's just not good enough to like use to like pass off as a finished product, I think. Yeah, I think it helps because I think what Bing does is essentially the Bing creator is some sort of template on top of Dolly 3 because it adds a bunch of stuff into the prompt. And then it has its own like filtering and restrictions. So I think, because part of it is I think it can recognize when a prompt is vague and it won't generate something that's entirely meaningful, and it'll just not let you see the result of it. But that to me is like the fun part of the computers, like putting in like vague sentences and phrases and seeing how it tries to interpret that as an image. Let's see. I'm gonna try. Well, I keep forgetting what I'm doing because I'm distracted by the climbing. But what I need to see is to decide if there's something wrong with my climbing. Do I have infinite stamina? What if I did item stamina booster 200? There we go. I don't see anything too weird with it. I think it's probably also because I'm climbing an overhang. Though it does sort of emphasize that the climb doesn't look very good, especially there's no collarbone motion I'm seeing. Because she should be moving her shoulder and then her arm should come up. You know what? I think it looks okay. If you're climbing up and to the left, there's still a little bit of like a snap to it. But I think otherwise it looks okay. So remove the space and fake arena access his name. Fake. I'm pretty sure I even did this maybe. Yeah, I already did that. A tricky one will be the monument, so 137. There is a monument, and it looks like complete garbage. This is not the right thing. Yeah, this thing. It looks very bad. And I'm going to fix it. There are sort of little oases around, and there is a garden in the main city. But yeah, there's a few places. Let's see. Environment chunks 137. And I'm going to try to figure out what exactly I want to make this look fun. In fact, I might even make it so that it's easier to climb up this thing. Where'd this go? Oh, there we go. I wonder what this even does. What if I just dissolve these edges? What am I gonna do? What is this? There we go. That'd be possible. But I'm gonna look through. So this was inspired by a big old trapezoid that I saw in some Egyptian ruins. But I'm gonna look through and maybe make. Because I think what I can do. Oh, not quite that. Alt-E, extrude faces along normals. And let's also make it so that this, and I guess this. Oh. I think I found the exact image that I was looking at. It's a big old dang old trapezoids. So what I could do is I could add some more bevels and things. And then actually a stone texture, and then maybe even like the little etchings of people. But maybe not that, because I don't want it to be too derivative. Make it so that it, I guess, merges probably right in here. So like it'll be like and let's add some like Mark Sharp here. Wait, where's my, oh, there they are. Let's do auto smooth. Hmm. See, I'm gonna put a seam probably right in here. What does this look like? That's kind of... What does this look like? I think this looks better than what I had going before. I'm gonna put these here. Eh. And I'll put something in here to make it, yeah, I'll make it obvious that there's a door here that's being closed. And someday I might even do something with that. Let's bring this out a little bit. I wonder what happens. So if the player can climb up here and then up to this. I should think about what exactly do I want with this. Let's see, I need to get my... So I think I want two distinct materials. One will be, or I guess this whole section here. And then maybe this part without this here. And, well, yeah, and also without this part. So I think let's assign a material here. No. Yeah, you know what? I'll also assign these to this same material. And probably this thing as well. I'll do the same over here. Yeah, that seems fine. So now if we select these, we have... Oh, I need this as well. So now we have two brand spanking new materials, or two beautiful materials that I can use. So one of them is going to be the simple brick. So I guess it'll be like 64 by 64 textures. Really splurging here. Where is that image that I was looking at? It'd be neat to have little etchings in there, like just tiny hieroglyphics throughout it. But maybe I'll do some sort of relief-based writing, but it won't be explicitly hieroglyphics. Well, let's pick out a nice color. Because most of the brick is very red, so I want this to stand out by not being red. Oh right, it only goes I can only go to this window. Well, I have an idea. Let's get one of our windows here. Let's get Krita. And then I'll hide that because we don't even really need that. Look at that. And now we can figure out how to make this look good. So this should be very, like, orderly and regular. Oh, yeah, also I should probably have my chat window. Hmm. It's gonna be pretty obvious where that repeats. Let's just make like a very simple well, let's not get too crazy with it. First things first, I need so yeah, they seem to looking at this image in more detail. Open image. It seems like the bricks aren't like a traditional... Like, it seems like there's a few different ways that they have the bricks laid out. So one is... Or so it's not quite the traditional, like... You know, you have the brick, then you have exactly halfway. It seems like there's sometimes a bit more offset than that in different ways. Like, and some of them are even, like, half the size. So maybe I'll have, like, a couple of rows of half-sized bricks. Okay, what does this look like zoomed out? That actually kind of looks neat. Okay, so I think maybe these bricks are probably too small for etchings. I'll probably do it for the other material because I'm gonna have a few different materials. So this is the brick wall, like the standard brick wall that I'll be using. And then I'll use... Honestly, this... Maybe I should have... Well, I can just use it at a lower resolution. Because I was going to say I should have made the bricks larger, but I can just stretch the texture more. And I'm going to make some slight imperfections on these bricks. Because this is supposed to be like thousands of years old. What should this be called? I guess I'll just call it like Monument Brick 1 or something. This will be... Should I do assets? I might as well. Environment, textures, stone. So this will be like Monument Brick 1. The tricky part of this V3.1 is going to be the music, because I really do think there's a lot of places where I'm just like, this just feels completely empty if there's no music here. Or like sound effects and stuff, because it's like, I think I just either need to go out with a microphone, I'd probably buy a better microphone. Well, yeah, maybe. Or I need to just buy a sound pack. But what I've found from buying assets is that they're generally bad. Like, every single model pack I've ever had, I've had to spend a couple hours like cleaning up the model, like making it actually look good and stuff. And not just like making it compatible with my style, but actually like fixing like really glaring, annoying issues with them. So I'm worried if I buy an audio pack, it's gonna have like 5 billion sounds and all of them are gonna be complete garbage. I'll have to figure out where people actually buy audio from. Or... Alright, how is this looking? It's looking okay. Let's add a noise filter. Let's see what happens if we just make this really low. That looks okay, though we actually need some more detail in here, and I think it's going to be... What if I make this really low? And then I think I need like this. Because I need the values to be a little bit more the same on both the bricks. Or on the thin and thick bricks. Doesn't quite do what I want. I'm actually going to call this detail as well, because I'm going to put this stuff in the base. Alright. Let's save this as brick monument brick 1 dot whatever. So now I need to figure out how do I want to integrate this? So that should be exported properly. So monument brick 1. Monument stone. You know, they don't handle... Oh wait, I think this needs to be local coordinates. Yeah, let's make this triplanar local. I mean, it's a little, wait, why are these so... Oh, I know why. These are complete... Well, wait, hang on. Okay, yeah, these are just different materials now. That's fine. And honestly, I think I should have lower contrast with this. So let's go to my detail. So I'm going to have it, instead of like at 100, it's going to be like 50. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's probably about right. So now we need this to be something. I have no idea what it's going to be. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, what if it was even more subtle? Like it was really high quality stone to the point where it's almost seamless. I also need to make the, so if we go back to here, I now need to make this more subtle. So let's just scribble some of this out. Yeah, that's looking okay. And for now, I'll just do that. I'll have some fancy little thing. But I think the first thing I need to do is let's make a texture that is similar in color to this. Or let's go to, let's not do that. Because for some reason, every single time I open up like a file, it switches to a different set of files. Or like a different folder. Where's the... Oh, it's over on this side. Okay, now filter, adjust. Maybe this would have also very subtle brick. Let's move it back over here. Let's do, some more detail, I guess. What if it was just like little squares? Like just very subtle little squares. I don't know why it would be like that. But who knows? Maybe they just made it as little tiles of stuff. They're not even regularly spaced though. There we go. See, and that looks okay. Let's save it as like monument ground or something. Assets, environment, stone. Okay. Now we can go. So this monument stone is no longer going to be anything. Maybe it'll be the ceiling. Also, I'm not sure what this is all about. Oh, I know what it is, probably. I probably didn't do this correctly. Because all of these should add up to 1. And I certainly don't think that's actually true. How did I fix it for the other shader? So there's the triplanar shader. I think this should be the same across all of these triplanars. I'm pretty sure. Like if I did this, and then we just remove that part. And then we remove this part. Specularity wall. So that'll just be, I mean, I guess we don't need to worry about specularity at all. Is this even different? I mean, it looks right. Mostly. I mean, there's still some oddities with these corners here that they're a little bit darker than I think they're supposed to be. But I mean, otherwise, it looks just about right. Though admittedly, now that I'm looking at it, if we go back to this, I think there needs to be like some red in here. So let's do like some of our red texture, like dust color, basically. So that should be... Let's try to match. I think that's about right. So it'd be something like... I'll put it back over here, and we can switch to it. And now we're switched to the Night in the Woods soundtrack. So where's my chat? I've lost it in this maze of windows. Because yeah, I was not smart enough to figure out how to make this ancient tablet work on the second screen by default. Let's see, do I actually want this? I know what to do. Let's see if this... Pretty bad. Because I want some... Yeah, let's just clear that off. What if I put this underneath this? And then we just have it like sort of a little bit more red to imply that there's dust on it. How does this look from a distance? These two are a little bit too dark. Now this one's a little bit too light. Basically good enough. Okay, now while we're over here, I'm gonna figure out the mystery of what folder is this even opening? Oh, it's just opening my pictures folder. Oh, I know why. Because I was editing the thumbnail from a screenshot, which goes to my pictures folder. Okay. Well, that has, like, photos of me in it, so I don't want that. There's a, whatever. I have a problem where I don't solve the problems that I face. Like, because there's so many things where I could just, like, I could just switch to a proper, what have you. Like, a proper streaming account where I don't have to worry about sharing personal files. But I just don't. Let's see, do I want this? Yeah, it's probably fine. Let's see what this in action. Let's just see this in the real world, so that I can play with the video game for like 5 seconds, and see how this actually looks. Because I think it certainly is better and more of a shape than it was. For some reason, the game... Oh, I know why. The game isn't starting up in the right monitor, because I keep pressing F8 instead of saving and quitting. Because now, if I just save and quit right now, if I start up the game, it'll actually start in the right monitor. Let's teleport to 137. Yeah, my graphics are quite inconsistent. I actually kind of like this one. I mean, well, it's certainly grainier than the other ones. Yeah, now the player can actually climb up here just normally. Let's set the time to like 10 in the morning. Oh. Okay, so this is what it actually, or it looks like in the day. Eh. I think it's better than like the piss yellow it was. Well, so yeah, the next challenge for the camera is going to be figuring out how to properly like handle like this situation where I don't want the player to just be like stuck staring at Jackie's chest. Because I want to push the camera to the side, and then I also want that for when you look up, so that way you're not just stuck staring at Jackie's back. Okay, but that's enough of that. The next step is to make the little material for here, which is going to be a fancy little thing that's going to be like engraved with stuff. So let's go back to the lovely this window. So I'm thinking we can have a pretty good... Oh. Let's get details in here. Oh, wait, I should actually know. I want this to be mostly like right there and right there. Because for this one, I'm actually going to make it properly like blend. So let's have like, I don't know what they I don't know what cool abstract patterns we could have, because I don't want to draw people. Because I feel like that's a little bit too obvious. Let's, I guess, do like written word. And it'll just be written in some sort of blocky, ancient, like, cuneiform style language or something. And then this part, I guess this part will just be like darker than the rest. It'll just be like implied to be older via detail. Or, I have no idea what I just said. It'll just be darker. Let's make it so that everything, so that there's going to be a little bit of shading. What am I saying? A little bit of shading. Obviously, there'll be shading. I'm going to put a little bit of dust on the top of this one, though. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, it took me a bit of brain power to figure out what I actually want, but I'm going to do sort of shading. Simple shading. Let's get darker down here, because this is actually like, I don't know, ambient occlusion. And each of these is going to be some sort of little slot for these. And it won't be so explicit. Because they'll be more like reliefs in the stone, where they just put their writing. And we'll just say the light source is from the top, because that's probably where it is. Now I'm trying to think, what is missing from normal maps generally? Because I find that hand-painted textures often have something that normal maps don't. And it's like the intentionality is naturally it, but what specifically are people adding that the machine doesn't? Because that's the problem with a lot of tech optimizations. Like graphical improvements in general come at the cost of typically, like, it used to be somebody would do it by hand, and so when it was done well, it would look better. It's sort of like people have pointed out, like, the comparison screenshot I usually see is Kingdom Hearts 2 versus Kingdom Hearts 3. The characters look worse because instead of hand painting all of the textures, they just let the machine do it. And so it's like, what is missing that you automate in there to make it actually look good? Because I find normal maps, if they're not super, or if you're not going for like perfect realism, I find normal maps generally look pretty ugly. And I just wonder, what is missing from them? And I kind of like having a little bit of extra, like, dark. And we'll probably go, like, down to a significantly lower opacity once I get the noise in here. Let's do, like, I don't know what sort of writing system I want. I'll just probably do, like, very simple, like, blocky letter shapes for now, since this is so small anyway that it's like there's not really any meaningful information that a person could gather from this. Hopefully people don't, like, see actual things in here. And I'm also trying to copy some of the letters so it seems like there's, like, intention behind this. And then, there we go. Look at that, it looks like a thing. Then we'll do my classic multiply noise let's just tweak the saturation since we can just get the lightness effect by the opacity. And then do I want this red here? Because that could be a little bit distracting. I'll keep it. Alright, so this is assets, environment, stone, monument, glyphs. Okay. So now we can go back. Let's get this out of here. Okay. So let's make this unique. And then we will do beautiful. Look at that. It's practically intentional. Now all I need to do is change its offset, which I don't know how to do. I mean, I guess I could fiddle with the scale until it magically works out, which, I just realized it's upside down. So the walls have, for this whole time, been upside down. Let's fix that right now. Color X, color Z. Maybe if we flip it like this. Because I think it's also flipped right to left now, though. Let's do position back to position.z negative position.y. And then we'll do position X, position Y. There we go. And then I think pretty naturally I need to make that not as dramatic. I don't know if I need to share this exciting new development with you, because I'm just gonna make it a little bit less prominent. And while I'm here, I might as well make the sand a little less prominent. So let's do export of that. Yes, it is going to be replaced. Alright, but now I need to just get out of here. You know, I think the game needs more save positions, because it's sort of weird how often I wind up back in places where I shouldn't be. Like, once you exit that tower, it shouldn't save you and load you back there. see, I think maybe I could make this less grainy. Or, not less grainy. Oh, the Alt-Tab was killing the game there for a little bit, but that's okay. What if we did 0.4? What does that look like? Oh. Okay, that actually does exactly the opposite of what I thought. This is actually in like high resolution mode. So I think I want... Can the player actually get up here like this? I think almost. Oh yeah, they can actually. So if they know that if they know to jump. So now this place is much more beginner friendly because you can actually just like climb up here. That's nice. So I don't know if this place looks good, but I think it looks better, probably. Let's fiddle with this just a little bit more. So what if it's 6-1? Because I want this lined up. Yeah, I think that's about right. So yeah, now we have some subtle writing. And it only gets, you know, completely indistinguishably mushy on the corners here. But that's why, you just don't write on the corners. Now the player can do a little bit of archaeology to figure out what these extremely tiny pixels mean. It's very, like, Nintendo 64. Somebody compared it to Banjo-Kazooie, like the game's aesthetic, and honestly, that's probably about the right comparison. Or at least for, like, the environment textures. And the environment, like, detail, really. Oh, weird. This side isn't steep enough. That's actually gonna be confusing for the poor player who tries to get up here and realizes that they can't get up there. Alright, let's fix that now. Not here. And I'm pretty sure the reason I had this was because there's some jank with the polygon collisions. Alright. Let's see if we can climb consistently. What the hell? What does this mean? That is janky. Hang on. What if I just grab this whole section here, and I very subtly make it even more generous? I think it's also this. Okay, there we go. Now there's a little bit more, like, actual, like, ability to play the video game. Okay. Let's put in the post whatever it is. So let's go to... Do I have, like, a chunk 137? I guess it'd just be, like... I guess it'd just be that. And there's not anything that I, you know, have that's important there. So let's do, like, add more dialogue to the monument. Such as... Ask about the glyphs. Ask what's in the monument. Anything. And this will be chunk 137, like lore maybe? And that'll be like could ship. But it won't be V3 either. Oh. And I think, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think there's going to be anything in here. It's just going to be more of that writing. At least that'll be what I do for now. Let me just do that. And now let's clean up all of my things, because I don't need any of these anymore. And I think that's good. Yeah, so for now, that's all there is. Okay. So I think that makes this look better. Redo and test the shopkeeper's dialogue. It's gonna be that's gonna be a lot of stuff. Let's do a pitch after celebration animation. I'm gonna do this one first. This one I'm still mixed on. This one's just gonna take a while, so I'll have to do that later. Or do that, you know, when I don't have 45 minutes left on the stream. But let's commit everything that I've done first. Git at dot git commit am. Oh, this doesn't clear anything, does it? Okay, good. Improved climbing animation. You can already see that I didn't... so let's do improve... Oh wait, no, let's just check out UI. Let's check out UI/debug console, because that one I was just changing the, if you remember, that was a change that I made to the time function to slow down time, which didn't do what I wanted it to do actually. So let's just undo that. And then what we're gonna do is just add the rest of this. There we go. So now I'm in the position where I can investigate this hitch. Because basically what it is, let's go to a test scene. Not that. So I think I can get this to activate. So if we go here, let's get these two out of here. Well, yeah, might as well. Because someday I might even make it so that crawlies use navigation meshes. Wouldn't that be something? Anyway, we're going to have those. Then we're going to have a capacitor. So I'll just be laying around loose. Which basically never happens in the game. There's always dialogue associated with it. But okay. And I think now I'm done with the tablet for today. So let's switch back to gamepad. Interesting. Attempt to call function get in base null inst. Ah, because the progress bars. Right. Let's maybe undo that. Hang on. Let's undo my deletion. Oh, right, cool. I forgot. Oh yeah, also, I need to fix these guys because they're slightly broken. While I'm here, I might as well do that, even though these guys are technically not part of this. It's the wrong thing. Admittedly, maybe I shouldn't. But okay, it was because, for some reason, even though I have it set up so that, you know, active collections export, it didn't export the active collection, it exported everything. There we go. So hopefully, that means that if I reload this, nope, didn't work. We can see this little piece of garbage here. What is this actually? No, okay, see, that's... Alright. So let's do some detective work here. Let's not include nested collections, maybe. You know, maybe that was the issue. I forgot. Include nested include nested collections unchecked. Oh, so I have... Okay, I see. Maybe I have to explicitly select the collection here. And then if I click on things here, the collection is no longer active? That's idiotic. Oh well, whatever. It works. The creatures exist. Let's get a capacitor. Because basically, when the player does their fancy little celebration animation, if they're aiming a gun at a character, it will... Oh. Do they not attack anymore? Okay, I see. Hang on, we need unlimited capacitors out here. Or maybe I need like an item that doesn't go away, or some way of triggering the celebration animation an infinite number of times. I appreciate that the... Interesting. Okay, so... that does not edit the scene. Alright, whatever. Let's just rerun it. Huh. Well, one issue that I'm seeing is that the character is supposed to be locked here. Oh wait, I need to... Global.get. Let's do global or item armor 1000. Interesting. If the player isn't locked onto something but has the gun visible, yeah, that's when it really janks out. Why though? Because if the player gets a gun, or the player gets a thing, let's go through this. So get item. Item pickup. So it should do celebrate. And then if we set the state to get item, mesh.release item. Oh wait, no, those are exit effects. Next state. So if we do state.get item, mesh.hold item. All right, let's go to the animator, because this also sets its state. When does it do that actually? Is that before? Huh. Before it does that. Okay. So let's go to get item, play single item get, gun.aim lock. What if I just lock the gun? I think aim lock is broken, is what I'm seeing here. Alright, let's do this again. Because I think I actually don't even need the NPCs here, so let's just go to the test world. Yeah, I'm almost certain. If you're locked onto something. Okay, so now it works reasonably well, except sometimes it does that, where it goes through the crouching motion. Why does it do that? Because what it should do... Well, what if I just... Hang on, what if I just go to play single? And we do, like, standing or something. Or we set... Walk. So what is... Crouch? Crouch blend position. Is there something like... How did I set this up? I set it up in some dumb way. So holding move crouch. Let's do... blend run animation. Movement. Okay, so that's because if we go to base mesh, and if we go to that massive clusterfuck in the animation tree whole body, so here, crouch is actually a separate state. So do our custom animations, so like does item get actually ever, isn't that one of those things that we have? Because the custom animations, yeah, they don't go to walk. So how do we actually do this again? Play single. Single custom, so it's body.start single. Where the hell is single? Okay, that seems fine. But then why does it go to crouch? And then, because I think one thing we can do first, though, is blend run animation 0. Vector 3.0. So that way, so I guess what we can do here, just delete those. Pretend nothing ever happened there. So what do we need to do? So it's like some... Oh, I see. Sort of. Let's also... Okay, so celebrate. I don't really need that. Let's go to the player. Let's print off set state. I was pushed into it. Alright, whatever. We need to have this so that I can see exactly which states we're printing to. Or which states we're being set to. What I should do is make that SSS a toggle, so that way I can just switch between it. In fact, that's what I'll do right now. In fact, let's call it TSS, toggle show stats. Because I couldn't, and I just remembered I couldn't even assign to it, so it didn't matter what the set get was. Because that was why I had that way before. Like, it was going to be set stats equals true, but you can't... For some reason, Godot expressions do not allow for assignment. Because assignment does not count as an expression. I see. So with the crouching, I think it's because there's some weirdness with the transitions, like because we're starting the animation, not transitioning to it. I think. Let's go back to the animator. Play single. So yeah, what if we do travel to single? And let's actually do like force. Equals, or like, so this might be the source of our troubles. Travel versus start, because start forces it to do exactly or to like, you know, transition to that state without properly exiting the other states or doing the logic or any of that. Why are we going to... why are we going to crouch? So what exactly is happening here? We go from get item to ground, ground to crouch, crouch to ground, ground to get item. So why are we going to crouch then? Let's go to... because the only reason to go to crouch is if we are holding the crouch button, which I'm not. So if we are holding move crouch, max depth is greater than depth crouch. If the so if wait, hang on. Does the object itself, so if we go to the item pickup, does this collider collide with us? Okay. So this collider might collide with our head collision, maybe. How does our head work, actually? Because there's standing collision. Aha! It does, I think. So that's why we're crouching. It's because we're holding something above our head, intersecting with the collision. So what I need to do is I need to actually remove any collision from there. So we can do that with in hold item, I think. Set collision or disable node for 1. Wait, let's do, okay. So this way, a preview... Well, but this doesn't make any sense to... Wait, hang on. No, because now that I'm thinking about it, first thing I should do is actually make sure that that is what the issue was. Well, I mean, honestly, now it seems to work. Because yeah, we're going from get item to ground, ground to get item to ground, ground to get item. So this seems to be what it was. But then why? Because that doesn't actually make as much sense as I thought it would, because we shouldn't be previewing. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Man. Because the preview should not have collision. Because the preview is a child of the actual item itself. The item, you know, is a kinematic body, so it can move around and collide with stuff. Also, why is it in... Ah, well. It's too late for me to contemplate why it's in Mask 2. If it's a kinematic body. But okay, let's go to player. Close other tabs. So I'm going to break on this. Because we shouldn't be holding move crouch. Because that's insane if we are. Yeah, because I mean that just gets that. Nope, wrong button. Oh wait, wrong place. We need to be in this testing. And then I guess we can test the, well, I guess let's just first... Okay. But why does it have collision? I know why. Because a health up is a bottle, and a bottle is a kinematic object. Okay, I get it now. So this is actually, that disable collisions function is completely valid. Because then if we continue here... Okay, so that's specifically why these cause you to crouch. But that doesn't explain why it causes the player to, like, jank out when they, like, step. Okay, so now we can ignore these because the player's, you know, in their proper state. So yeah, the next step will be to figure out how to get that to fix itself. I think it'll be like... Let's go to player. Get item. Or let's do func set state. So we need mesh.set. How do we... What is the run blend? Blend run animation. So this should be vector 3.0. And we can probably do a lerp here. Yeah, so let's do like instant. So one if, I know, speed if instant else. And I think we can actually set that in here. So that is get item. Oh no, play single actually. So I don't think we really need this stuff, but I'll probably keep it anyway, just for the sake of it, and then we'll do... will be true. So then I can do that for other things if I ever see this bug happen again. Because basically what happened is it smoothly interpolates your blend value, so that way if you're like on keyboard, it doesn't instantly snap to the animation. But that means that it's only done when you actually call the blend function. And if you're not running, or if you're not moving, and you're in this animation state, it doesn't do that. So that was why I was setting... So that was why, if you were running, it would still set you as running. Okay, but let's also make sure the pistol works now. Okay, I think that works. But let's also add a little guy in here. And let's also remove this print function. So we need, in here, I think I'm just going to move this, this one, right here. So that way we can aim at this with the pistol and then see if it actually properly works. Yeah, eventually I need to just make the aim lock do what I want it to do, which honestly, I don't even remember what I wanted it to do. Yeah, now, pretty graceful. Because she does her little celebration, then looks back at whatever she's looking at. Perfect. Beautiful. So that fixes that little jank animation. So there's actually two different bugs that were with this, but I'll say they're... Because, yeah, there's one with celebrating with the gun and the celebrating with the crouch. Okay. The gate guard should direct you to Byro's home after clearing the gate. Using the wardrobe in dialogue causes the camera to reset improperly. Let's go to the proof of concept world. Because yeah, basically what it is, when you enter this mode, it sets the camera to one state. Then you exit back to the default state, which kind of looks ugly. So let's fix that then. Or camera. Camera rig. Maybe there should be like a state stack or something. Actually, what do we have here? Why do I have so many, like, screwed up things? Like, this should be a state machine. Why did I set it up like this? Enum. State. Free. Aiming. Zoomed. Maybe I shouldn't do a big refactor, but I will put that in this to-do list. So let's do like a... refactor that to a state machine, so that would be could ship refactor. But I do think this is sort of like a lot of these overlap. Like you can be locked and aim and have close cam on. I don't need that here. Why is that there? But okay. Let's go to cam, or like exit end wardrobe. If close cam, Philip dialog locked. Let's see if that works. Hey, look at that. Because the boolean isn't set properly. Or because the boolean is set properly, or doesn't get changed because the wardrobe, you know, because there's like partially, I guess partially relevant state, like when you're in the wardrobe, it's not relevant if the dialogue is also locking the camera. But okay, that looks a-okay. If... Do I want to do that now? Not really, honestly. I wrote so much dialogue, and I have to write so much dialogue in V4. I'm just gonna kick these down the road. Well, yeah, I'm gonna kick these down the road. So yeah, now I can, like, figure out which of these I want to bump up in priority. This one is sort of... and maybe this one, because they are so easy. And this one, honestly, is more important than the other sound effects, because you need to be able to, like... you need to be able to, like, tell when you bonk. And right now there's no visual indicator. And this one, honestly, isn't... I don't really care about that one. And this one's also just a little detail. Some hints as to where Lily is. I guess... I mean, I could just add dialogue. Well, no, but that wouldn't be... Let's bump this one up. Bump this one up. Didn't I bump that one down like 10 minutes ago? And I also bumped this one down, but it actually is pretty important to be able to... or like relevant, I guess. Well, not really. And this one's just a little detail. Okay, so I guess tomorrow what I'll do is add more detail to the little town, update the gold rankings, make a little sound effect for when you bonk, make the path, make tutorial Tyler more obvious, make this like a dialogue option that you can just call anytime. Alright, that should be okay. And I don't know if I actually properly... Let's git add DLB, git add entities, enemies. Fixed DLB file. And let's do git check out areas, because I didn't actually do anything important. That was just for testing. fix, whatever was. Okay, coolio. So that was my very, oh, wrong thing. That was my very exciting V3.1 stream, and soon I'll make the rest of V3.1. Because I'll probably actually release that as like V.0.3 or something, or like 3.0.2 or something like that. Ah well, but anyway, I'll be back later this week, because I'm going to probably take the weekends off, maybe, for this, until, well, I don't know. I'm also going for about a week for Thanksgiving, so I'll have to figure out what exactly I'm going to do. Whatever, I'll figure it out. See you later.